Good morning, girls. This is the start of the second quarter, and we will start our lesson from 9-5 Geometric Series. Our objective for this week is to define geometric series and find their sums. Before that, we need to understand what is geometric sequence. Geometric sequence with a starting value of A and a common ratio R is a sequence of the form AR squared, AR cubes, and so on. Our recursive definition for the sequence has two parts, A sub 1, and that is our first term. And we have recursive formula, A sub n equals A sub n minus 1 times R. Remember, our R is our common ratio for the second number over the first number, or the preceding number over the first number. We will follow this formula. An explicit definition for this sequence is a single formula. A sub n equals A sub 1, which is the first term, times R raised to n minus 1, for n should not be equal to or greater than 1. For geometric series, we will use the symbol summation. You can use the Greek capital letter sigma, this symbol, to indicate a sum. With it, you use limits to indicate how many terms you are adding. What are limits? Limits are the least and greatest values of n in the series. So you write the limits below and above the sum or the sigma to indicate the first and last terms of the series. Okay, for example, you can write the series 3 squared plus 4 squared plus 5 squared and so on into 108 squared as summation of n equals 3 to 108, wherein n squared is our explicit formula. So here, n equals 3 is our lower limit. The series begins when n equals 3. And the upper limit, this is the series, ends with n equals 108. Our n squared is our explicit formula for each term, and this is our n squared. So we will follow n squared here. Next. So from this lesson, we will know the meaning of geometric series, converge, and diverge. So first, we will discuss geometric series. Geometric series is the sum, from the word sum, the total of all the numbers from geometric sequence. Okay, so geometric series is the sum of the terms of geometric sequence. So key concept, the sum S sub n of a finite geometric series A sub 1 plus A sub 1 times R plus A sub 1 times R squared plus so on into A sub 1 times R raised to n minus 1, wherein R is not equal to 1. So this is the formula. S sub n equals A sub 1 times 1 minus R raised to n, all over 1 minus R. So remember, A sub 1 is our first term, R is the common ratio, and n is the number of terms. Okay, let us solve problem number 1. Finding the sums of finite geometric series. So when we have the word finite, we have the first and last number. Letter A, we have 3 plus 6 plus 12 plus 24 and so on into 3072. What we need to know, we need to find the sum. Okay, what is our first term? Our first term is 3, or our A sub 1 is equal to 3. Okay, what is our common ratio? Common ratio means second number over the first number, or the preceding number over the first number. So we have 6 over 3, and that is equal to 2. 12 divided by 6, or 12 over 6, is equal to 2. 24 divided by 12 is equal to 2. They are all equal to 2. So it means the nth term, or our common ratio is 2. So I will use R for our common ratio. What is our nth term? The nth term is 3072. What is our last number from the series? Okay, we have 3072. So the nth term is 3072. Now, with the use of the explicit formula, first step, use the explicit formula A sub n equals A sub 1 times R raised to n minus 1. So remember, our n is the number of terms and our R is the common ratio. Okay, A sub n. What is our A sub n, or our last term? Our last term from this problem is 3072 equals, what is our A sub 1, or the first number? 3 times, what is our R? Our R is our common ratio, which is 2. So 3 times 2 raised to n minus 1. Okay, next. Since we have 3072 equals 3 times 2n, or 2 times raised to n minus 1, we will divide this by 3. Now, what is 3072 divided by 3? Okay, 3072 divided by 3 is 1024. 1024. Okay, now we have 1024 equals 2 raised to n minus 1. Since we have our 2 here, what number raised to a number to get 1024? Yes, and that is 2 raised to 10. So it means 1024 is 2 raised to 10. So n minus 1 is equal to 10. From where did we get n minus 1 equals 10? N minus 1 is from our explicit formula. And we will equate to 10 since our exponent here is 10. N minus 1 equals 10. Now, what is our n? So n minus 1 equals 10. Transfer negative 1 on the other side is n equals 11. Okay, since we have now n, we have our common ratio, which is 2, and our first number, or first value, is 3. So S sub n equals A sub 1 times 1 minus R raised to n. So with the use of the sum formula in geometric series, we can use this formula again as sub n equals A sub 1 times 1 minus R raised to n all over 1 minus R, wherein n is our number of terms and A sub 1 is our first term, R is the common ratio. Now S sub 11, which is our n equals 11, the number of terms, S equals 11 is equal to 3 times 1 minus 2 raised to 11. 3 is our first number, first term. 1 minus, what is our R? Common ratio is 2. And our n again is 11. all over 1 minus 2. Okay, if you will simplify those numbers, you will get 6,141. Or you can do it manually by subtracting first number inside the parentheses. What is 1 minus 2 raised to 11? And multiply it by 3. Your answer divided by the difference of 1 minus 2. So you will get the answer 6,141. So it means this number 3 plus 6 plus 12 plus 24 plus and so on to 3,072 has the sum of 6,141. So it means the sum of the series is 6,141. Okay, next letter B. Okay, from letter B, we have summation of n equals 0 to 20 is 4 times 1/2 raised to n. Okay, so when the lower of n is not equal to 1, how can you find the number of terms? The number of terms always equal to upper limit minus lower limit plus 1. So remember, if you want to know the number of terms, if n is equal 0, upper limit minus lower limit plus 0. So this time we have 20. So 20 minus 0 is 20 and 20 plus 1 is 21. So the number of terms here or our n is 21. Okay, the first term here is a sub 1. What is a sub 1? What is our first term? Our first term is 4. And the common ratio is 1/2. The lower limit is 0. And the upper limit is 20. So the number of terms in the series is 21. Now, use the sum formula. S sub n equals a sub 1 times 1 minus r raised to n all over 1 minus r. What is our n again? The number of terms? Okay, 21. So sum of 21 terms, S stands for the sum. Sum of 21 terms is equal to 4, which is our first term, times 1 minus, what is our common ratio? 1/2 from the given. 1/2 raised to, what is our n again? 21. So we have 4 times 1 minus 1/2 raised to 21 all over 1 minus 1/2. And 1/2 is our common ratio, which is r. Okay, if you will simplify these all numbers on your calculator, it will give you approximately 8. Or if you want to do it manually, simplify first 1 minus 1/2 raised to 21. Then multiply it by 4 and divide it by 1 minus 1/2. And it will give you approximately 8. So the sum of the series is approximately 8. That is for letter B. Next. Got it, number 1. Letter A. So here we have the given. Negative 15 plus 30 minus 60 plus 120 minus 240 plus 480. Okay. So here we have the first term, which is negative 15. What is our r? Okay, so look at the numbers. 30 divided by negative 15. Negative 60 divided by 30. Next, 120 divided by negative 60. Negative 240 divided by 120. 480 divided by negative 240. Okay, what is our common ratio? What is our R? Our R is, it gives you what? Negative 2. Okay? And what is our nth term? Our nth term, it means the last term. Nth term means the last term. So that is 480. Okay? Next, use the explicit formula. A sub n is equal to A sub 1 times R raised to n minus 1. Okay, what is our A sub n or our last term? 480. Our first term, which is negative 15, times what is our R? Negative 2 raised to n minus 1. So we will divide both sides by negative 15. So now, what is 480 divided by negative 15? We have negative 32. Negative 2 raised to n minus 1. Okay, next. Since we have negative 2, which number or what is the exponent of negative 2 that gives us 32 or negative 32? Can you think? So negative 2 raised to what number is negative 32? Yes, negative 2 raised to 5. Negative 2 raised to 5. Negative 2 raised to 5 is equal to negative 32. So we will use n minus 1 is equal to 5. Now, n is equal to what? Okay, 5 plus 1 is 6. So n is equal to 6. So we will use n equals 6 to find the sum of this geometric series. Okay, next. So we are done. We use explicit formula. Now it's time to use the sum formula. Use the sum formula. So S sub n is equal to A sub 1 times 1 minus R raised to n. All over 1 minus R. Okay, next. What is our A sub 1? Our A sub 1 is our first term, which is negative 15. So negative 15 times 1 minus, what is our R or the common ratio? Okay, negative 2 raised to, what is our n? 6. Okay, next. One minus 64 all over. What is 1 plus 2? What is 1 plus 2? Okay, so 1 plus 2 is 3. So 1 minus negative 2 is 3. Next, simplify. So what is negative 15 times 1 minus 64 all over 3? Okay, it gives us 945 over 3. And the final answer is 315. So it means the summation or the sum of those 6 terms is equal to 315. And the sum of the series, geometric series, is 315. Okay, next. Letter B. So we have the symbol. So we have summation of n equals 1 to 10. 5, this explicit formula is 5 times negative 2 raised to n minus 1. So lower limit is 1, upper limit is 10. Our common ratio is what? Our common ratio is equal to negative 2. Our first number here is 5. Okay. Now, so what do you need to use? The sum formula, since we have already given a sub 1 r and n, which is 10, the upper limit, the number of terms. It's already given. Now, use the sum formula. S sub n is equal to a sub 1, which is our first term, 1 minus r raised to n, all over 1 minus r. S sub 10, our 10th term, the number of terms, equals, what is our a sub 1? Okay, 5 times 1 minus our common ratio, which is negative 2, raised to 10. So 5, okay, all over 1 minus negative 2 again. So we have 5 times 1 minus negative 2 raised to 10 all over 1 minus negative 2 is what number? So if you will simplify this on your calculator, it will give you negative 1,705. So it means S sub n, or the sum of all those 10 terms, is negative 1,705, or the sum of the series is negative 1,705. So if you will do it manually, simplify first the number inside the parenthesis with exponent. So negative 2 raised to 10 means 1,024. So 1 minus 1,024, multiply it by 5 and divide it by 1 minus negative 2, or 3. So it will gives you negative 1,705. And that is for letter B. Okay, that's all for today, girls, and we will continue this lesson to next meeting. See you and have a great day.